Elevation in Love. My name is Andre Romance, and I want to give you a couple tips to help you take your line art to the next level. Let's get into it. All right, here we have some line art that I put together. The first thing we want to look at is settings that I have up here at the top, which would be the anti-alias, the contingents, and the sample all layers. Now, when you're filling in your colors, these come into play a great deal. So to start out, let's give you an example of what coloring on top of the line art looks like. Sometimes we color our line art and we don't set any margins for error. Before we know it, we're making mistakes that shouldn't happen. Okay, so right here, right off the back, we see that blue is still showing beneath our color. And so let's jump into how to correct that. The first thing that we need to do is have our anti-alias selected. Okay, what this is going to do is it's going to hug those edges a little more. So when we do our color fill this time, you'll see that the edges, they get a little closer to the lines now. But we don't just want to do that. We want to take it a step further, and we want to actually acknowledge the rest of the canvas, right? We want to acknowledge what's really going on inside this layer. And how we do that is with having the all selected, right? This identifies every small detail between the lines and what's going on outside of the lines. So we have a crisp feel with the color here. Okay, but one other issue that we still have is that we're coloring one spot, but it's giving the whole canvas the same color. And in order to get rid of that, we want to have our contingents selected. Okay, once we select our contingents, then we can click in different areas and it will color fill just those areas that we have selected. Okay, now if we want to take this a step further, say we want to change our colors individually from time to time, and we want to be a little more hands-free as far as the creating that we're going to do on canvases like this, right? We want to create something called clipping mask, and a clipping mask allows you to create in those color fields and change those colors without messing with the line art or without messing with other colors that you've already laid down on other layers. Okay, so we'll give you an example of that. You're going to use your magic wand. With your magic wand, you're going to make sure you have these selected as well. Okay, and then for those areas that you want to select for your colors, you're going to be on that same layer, right? You're going to stay in that line art layer so you can actually get the selection of these areas. Okay, we're going to hold down the shift key and we're going to select these different areas that we want to color fill. Okay, so we have a selection, right? Now the next thing we want to do is expand the selection. And the reason why we want to expand the selection is so that we can get into all of those small corners where we have sharp edges. We want to be able to color fill in the sharpest areas of our selection. So what we're going to do is go up to select here at the top. We're going to go down to modify, and we're going to expand. My line art was created with a 10 pixels paintbrush. Okay, so I'm going at least half or a little under half, but I can do 5 if I wanted to split the difference of the paintbrush size. And what this does is it covers all of the little areas that we have here where those sharp edges are. So we just make sure we get all of those edges inside of the selection. And once we have our selection, we want to create us a layer underneath this line art layer. Okay, we're going to color fill what we have selected. Now what we have, if we remove the line art, is a blob of that color. it doesn't actually follow every detail of the line, but it stays within the line art, which is overlaid on top of the color fill. And this is what we want. This is a good starting base to start our clipping mask. Create another layer on top of that. Right click on that area and create a clipping mask. Okay, there's different ways that we can do it. We can also press Alt Control G as a shortcut. And once we create this, we can go in and we can shade. We can pick up our paintbrush. We can go in and shade different areas we want to shade and stay within that purple area that we selected to be the color mask. Okay. And no matter how much we color outside of our line artwork, we're still going to be in the same spot, right? We're still going to be creating in the same space. Okay. Another thing to take from this is that once you have created enough of these, you can totally remove your line art, and all of these areas should come together to look like an actual painting. And little small fine details like the corners here, you would go back in and color those in manually. But overall, the picture that you have should come together without even needing to use the line art if you don't want to. It just gives you that flexibility to change the colors that you want to change, or manipulate, add texture, do all kinds of things that you want to do inside of your artwork without destroying your line art, or without destroying certain areas that you want to, if you're not sure about the color, go back and change. Okay, and it gives you a clean look, a clean professional look overall. Okay, so I hope I helped you today with this quick tutorial. If you like this tutorial, I encourage you to click on the like button. I encourage you to share this. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I encourage you to do that as well. I also encourage you to click the bell so you can get the notifications of the next tutorial that I'm going to be dropping. So I enjoy doing this for you all, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, it's elevation and love.